Hello everybody, this is the video from Race 7 of the 2022 OVKA karting season out at G&J Kartway in Camden, Ohio. I am going to race LO206 Senior on this race. I typically race LO206 Masters Heavy, but I pulled some weight off of my kart to race out in Newcastle and just left it off, and I'm going to race with the 199 right there. He races in 206 Senior. So the other two guys I'm pitting with, they're going to be racing 206 Masters as they typically do. It was a nice day out. Thought I'd throw in a little time lapse here. Hope it works out right. Can't tell if I'm going to have syncing issues, with the video. But giving it a shot. But all in all, it took me about 15 minutes to get set up. Pretty quick. Got it all crammed in the back of my pickup truck. Not too much of an issue. The format for the day will be 2 practice sessions, 5 minutes apiece. Then we'll have a 5-minute period for qualification. Then we'll have an 8-lap pre-final and then a 12-lap final. The last lap, the last race is more than likely going to take place in the dark because this is an evening race. I think typically you're there 7 a.m. at the gates opening, on a weekend race, but today the gates opened at 2, and it was a little more leisurely schedule for the day. I got up, loaded my truck up in the morning instead of in the evening like I normally do. Met the guys for some lunch, and then we moseyed all together over to the track. So getting close to getting this all put up. Still hoping it turns out all right. I'm watching my software right here, and it looks like it might be lagging a little bit, but what the heck, we'll get through it. So this video is from the pre-final. I've already qualified. I ended up qualifying 11th out of 20. The top 10 were almost a full second ahead of me, but they were all very close to each other. Alright, so we are pulling out onto the track. Like I mentioned, I qualified 11th. I think I was right around 44 seconds, I think, for this configuration. This is configuration 2C. So in the back portion of the track, you'll go through what we call the bus stop, and as you approach the front straightaway where the start-finish line is, you'll turn straight onto it instead of jogging up to the left and going through the kink or the B turn, as we call it. But we're lining up all these drivers in front of me. I think one of them might actually be older than about 22. They're all pretty young, pretty competitive. They're all pretty fast. I'm sure they're all slugging it out for the championship points and all that kind of stuff. I'm just basically trying to have some fun in this race since I'm not in their points battle. This is my first race with this group. So anyways, my buddy in the 199 is right behind me. We get through this pretty unscathed. When I'm coming down here, you can see me kind of end up going wide right there. The zero, not double zeros, right to the right of me. He almost locked him up, and his back end kicked out a little. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, so I went wide, so it was no big deal. But I'm always pretty wary coming down to that turn on the first lap. Somebody goes around almost every time. I was able to kind of get in front of, I think it's the 43 right there, but they get right on my tail, and didn't realize they were as close as they were right on my tail, and they just ducked right under me right there. But again, they were on qualifying times, they were almost a full second, if not a full second faster than I was. There was a pretty big difference between the top 10 and then the back 10. But I'm kind of hanging tough right now. This is probably about what would be the equivalent of my 7th or 8th race on my tires. And it started to occur to me on this outing that maybe I probably should have put different tires on. I didn't have terrible grip, but going around this corner right here, it was a little bit iffy. I didn't feel like I could just blast around it like I have in the past. And I just couldn't quite carry the speed through it, or else I'd drive in the grass. And if you go in the dirt or the grass out there, you're dropping more time than you would be if you just kind of slowed up a little bit and made sure you stayed out of the dirt and the grass. But I've actually got a pretty decent gap on the karts behind me. And things are getting tight again right here. If you come right here at the 22, realize he didn't have the space. Somebody got crossed up in front of him, and he went around the outside. which is not what you're supposed to do. But on the next lap, it's going to get remedied. I can't tell how far up the 22 is. We've got the 43 in front of me, and I can't tell what number's right in front of the 43. But I think the 22 is even further up there. He's in that yellow champion cart. As he's coming by right now, I think one of the race officials is telling him he needs to give up some spots or he's going to get in trouble. And as we come around, he's got to give up 2 spots. We're going to go, we're approaching the bus stop. This little section right here is the bus stop. So when we get down at the end of this straightaway, he pulls to the side and lets 2 carts pass him. And that kind of brought me up a little bit, but not, I'm still not really, none of them are really in danger of getting passed by me. And we hit the halfway point. But again, my cart felt like it was fast, just the grip and a couple of the ends just didn't seem to be good enough to hang with the fast carts up there. I do like this layout. And on the rev limiter a lot, at least the gearing that I was using. I had the same gearing as my buddy the 89 who raced Masters Heavy. He qualified position 2. I'm running the same gearing as he is. But I was definitely slower than him, even with the less weight. So it's probably a good thing I didn't race a Masters Heavy. I might have got totally smashed. But right now I believe I am driving around in probably 9th or 10th place. The 0, I've watched somebody else's video, and the 0 that was next to me at the start, you probably could see it in my rear camera, but maybe not. I think he went around back there, so he started in front of me, so now he's behind me. And I feel like 2 other carts went off. So right now, when I look ahead, I am in 7th place, which out of 20, I was okay with that. I was like, hey, again, you never know what happens in a race. That's why you race. And oh yeah, that's right. That's the one. I'm not in 7th now. I'm in 7th. I was in 8th. But it was fun. I didn't have any mechanical issues. My chain woes are pretty much done. Once I decided to put my sprocket guards back on, I haven't had any issues. Nothing is rattled loose. I got my seat snugged in pretty good where it hasn't. First few races, it continued to work its way loose almost every time I went out, so I'd have to come back in and tighten it up. I Loctited it up a little bit, and no issues since, although I do continue to check it. That's one thing, again, for those people that are starting out in karting, stuff rattles loose and you don't know that it rattled loose, so it always pays to look things over. Just throw a wrench on your seat bolts every now and then, whether they look loose or not. You'll be surprised at how easy they turn sometimes. So we're coming around. This is the last lap. I already let the cat out of the bag. I am going to finish 7th in this race, so I will start 7th in the final. It will be dark when the final comes up, and hopefully I'll have that video in the next couple of days. But that is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments for me, drop them in there. Make sure to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff so I can get millions and millions of views on my go-kart videos, because everybody wants to watch them. So, adios.